Howdy, 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 folks. It's Incomitatum. You're into the night. I think that I've spread this all the places that I need to. Yeah? That's part of the rounds, right? You gotta make your rounds. You gotta spread it out there, put it on social media, put it in all the channels, put it in the right places so that people don't think that you're being a spammy asshole. Because I don't want to be a spammy asshole. I don't want spam all over my bum. Who am I? Well, this is my second time flying out over the kingdom of Twitch. Thank you for having and receiving my signal. Who am I? I'm a very grateful person. I'm thankful. I live again. It's like that Gargoyle show, right? And they live again. Here I am, and tonight I'm alive, and that's saying something, right? People are like, whoa, dude, what are you even talking about? It's like, well, I've realized that there's a social currency in when it's your birthday. I was in a very hippie environment, allowed to be existential on my birthday, not dour, but contemplative. No, I don't normally say it that way, contemplative, it's awful. But contemplative. Yeah. And it dawned on me that, you know, when people hear it's your birthday, they say, wow, here's some free stuff, and they treat you special. And it's like, well, no, you should treat yourself special. Like, every day is your birthday, dude, right? Every day you get up out of bed, that you're granted another day to exist and experience this dumpster fire that is reality. I mean, it's not pretty, but it is pretty sometimes, right? Turns out I have a viewer already. So I hope tonight that you guys can see that even though I couldn't keep this, I had to keep going after last night's stream for about 2 hours to finish this up and get it to a place that I want it to look like. I hope that you like the overlay. The overlay is it's a work in progress, but it's better than the overlay I didn't have last night, right? I need to replace this lorem ipsum over here. I've already decided how I'm going to do some of that. With the Desiderata. Because why not, right? What's going on? Well, I'm editing the show just a bit because, you know, we just all got here. We're still in the setup phase, which is farther than we normally are by now. Remember, my rubric is 20 minutes that it takes you to get in the air. Tonight I decided to get all my music and everything done before. I decided to try and get all my music and stuff done before I actually started the show. So, but yeah, I want this to be one long line. And you're not seeing all the buttons I'm pushing. That's okay. I'm almost done pushing them. Thanks for being here, folks. This is Into the Night with Incomitatum, my little take on art and music and some awful life advice that nobody needs to have. So it's just the way it is sometimes. And yeah, here you can see my awful mess. This is the week that I've had. It's Tuesday night. I did go out and vote. I am going to be talking and preparing and doing some stuff about code tonight, even if I don't get balls deep in code. I'm not sure about this yet. I'm still feeling it out. Later on, in a future segment, I'm going to show off some of the art that I've been doing, especially the sculpting, the progress of that and how it's been going. So. It's really long. How do I get it to... I need this to... I guess I need to go into Notepad++. Let me show you a bit of what the hell I'm working on. I'm just trying to get this one line going. I've never been to an illegal site before. I don't pirate nothing ever. That's what I said. Yeah, I needed to see where some of these line breaks are. They'll get that back to one line. And let me shrink it back down. You're seeing the show in action. There we go. There's the Desiderata. I couldn't think of what else I would have scrolling up there. Nice. Nope, don't save that. I'm not in a hurry to blow my load, that is to say, get everything that I want to talk about tonight out. Maybe I'll do a little bit of that setup and planning, right? So, bear with me while I try and draw some stuff for a half second. That's not so bad, right? We'll see. Can you guys still hear me? I'm gonna start doing some stuff. Here we go. Alright, I can turn to the right. Alright. Maybe I need to turn it up just a little. Oh, we are turned up all the way. Where is my damn drawing thing? Yeah, tonight's music is also curated in such a way as to say that we mean to be kind of positive and upbeat. So if I'm going to talk about code, I want to talk about stack. I have a very short stack. It's not amazing. I got XAMPP and I got NetBeans. And I keep these on a separate little development hard drive. I keep everything isolated. If I'm going to create awful code, birth it out into the world, I don't want it touching anybody else's code. What do we want to talk about first? HTML, wireframe, and I would probably talk about design layout. Layout versus code is important, right? I talk about sections. I talk about classes versus IDs. Yeah. I guess we need an intro. So you wanna code. I guess the other thing, WordPress. MySQL. Yeah, you've seen a lot of my art brain. This is my engineer brain. Yeah. Trying to have some upbeat music while I was in the art cave tonight. I was listening solely to, well, not solely to, but a Pandora station that was birthed off of Perturbator. I can name drop some shit, right? Even if I can't play them. I think so. I think that's how it goes. Jumping on a Discord. I linked my dashboard because I'm a friggin' idiot, right? So now I gotta go back and fix every... I only just see that too. Alright, so now someone was nice enough to take the time to tell me that I'm an idiot. So I'm going to take a moment to say thank you for taking the time to point that out. I would have just derped right along. So, I mean, the fact that the show has the production value that it does means that every day we're slowly growing, folks. Just a little bit more. You got a nice overlay out of the show that I did last night where I just bullshitted and did some art. And tonight we're still in the pseudo-planning phase for the show. Deciding, how do I break down the teaching people about what I know and care about when it comes to code and websites and marketing and all of that. So, and as I bullshit, and bullshit is very important to me. Maybe I need to write a whole... Maybe I need to write a whole lecture about why bullshitting, verb, is important. I mean, planning is to plan is an action, and I'm a big guy. A proponent of planning. Sometimes I overplan, but I would rather be the guy that gets a +2 to his agenda because of a plan than not having a plan and going, well, I don't know what to do now. The only time that you can... I mean, the only thing, the best thing you can do if you don't have a plan is pray that you have experience. Luckily, the one thing that Facebook does right is its posts are purely referential. That is to say, if I change this post that Andrew Chasen Design did, it changes it for all the people that shared it. It doesn't do that for Google, and it sounds dumb. Why would you? And some folks are going to know. Some folks are going to be smart enough to change the link. But, you have to cater to the lowest denominator. You have to assume people don't have the time to deal with your shit. Have your own shit together so that I don't have to have my shit together, especially if you're trying to sell me on this show. I fixed it on several different Discords. Not this one. Here we go. What do we call those? I guess just a Discord server. Oh, did I fucking derp it up? I'm derping everywhere, guys. Let me edit all of my other posts one more time. Can you imagine that they allow me to drive? Alright, here we go. That wasn't too bad. That was the end of a song. We're back. I really like the ability to click and add markers. It's Pavlovian. Be like, blink. This is the end of a thing. I'm not going to make a promise to do it at the end of every song. But yeah, having this upbeat stuff, I'm a big proponent of set and setting, or setting a mood, or setting a scene. Design a space. Interior design. I wanted to be an environmental designer. environment artist. That's what I wanted to do, and I didn't do it. But you'll see that I care about the designs of buildings and getting the scale of things precise when it comes time to do perspective art. That's why I cheat just a little bit. But hey, no one's around. No one's even on the stream right now yet, so that's okay. One of the reasons why I'm writing all of this so poorly is because pounding out on the keyboard makes too much of a sound in the microphone. Alright, here we are. Checking your mirrors, you gotta do that every now and then. The stream looks healthy. We're doing good over here. I'm gonna sit back. You know, when you're in this, you're in it for a little bit of a haul, and so you find that it helps to be prepared, man. I'm just saying, to plan ahead. That's why I'm drawing this stuff. That's why I've also got my noodles. I'm a bit of a chef. I tell you what. Yeah, that's some stuff. My buddy Joseph Bradshaw was talking about love languages. And I had probably heard the term before, but it had never really stuck. And I'm going to botch these. I don't know. Everything I do is just paraphrasing. But he mentioned gifting and, like cooking as a love language. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? That's actually true. That's one of mine. I love to cook. Okay. I'm going to call this new segment Meme Time. In the meme time. In the meantime. In the meantime. There we go. In the meme time. Alright, so what is in the meme time? Why am I even doing this? One time on the old DeviantArt before it crashed and deleted everybody's shit years ago, I had a thing that was a bit of a meme. A piece of art that I did. And so tonight I'm going to do that. I've decided. The code thing, I wrote it down. It's good. I've planned. Let's save our work. You know, part of what inspired me to do anything even like this is the other day when I was watching a Khan Academy video and something in my head clicked and I'm like, they're basically just doing Photoshop. And I'm like, I could just do Photoshop. That's pretty much all I do all day anyway, right? Photoshop or sculpting or writing. Code. I could do that. So let's get colorful. Let's get super colorful. Let's Bob Ross the shit out of this. The meme time. There's a lot of E's. Lots of E's. And then we'll add these marks in there because why not, right? Just because we could. Because I wanted it. In the meantime, never even said I was a good artist. So, what are some things I like? Here's some things I like. These are a few of my favorite things. See if you guys who are not even here can guess what I'm drawing. And yeah, just because you yell it out doesn't mean I'm gonna stop drawing it, because I gotta keep drawing it. I like pizza. That's specific about me. I like Muppets. Yeah, these are all things I like. I can draw better than this. I'm just not trying. I promise you. Pizza and Muppets. And I have this image in my head, but it's just all these runes. It looks a bit like this. I'm gonna say I like. Yeah. This would be the group hallucination that is storytelling. I like infectious language. Yeah, and on these little icons I can even one of the things that you might want to know if you're feeling that you're not being very creative when you're trying to do some creative shit, restraint. Or rules. Or limitation. These things can help you be creative. So I like pizza, and I like Muppets, and I like infectious language. And I'm gonna say this one. This is a fun color for this. Anyway, I was gonna say one of my restrictions could be that I only use 3 colors for each of these, so. What is this? Well, it's not quite a trash can. It's something with a little bit of perspective. Like, I could almost do it. But also, I'm going fast. It can be important to go fast and have... It's like, what's our rules? So tonight our rules are 3 colors. Likes. Go fast. See, that was fun. So the other thing that is real important to me, some of the zen of how I art, some of the rules I create for myself, is this is a mayonnaise tomato burger. That's right, folks. It's a burger made out of 2 tomatoes and some mayonnaise. Hey, some people are actually into that. I don't like tomato. But this is, the idea of this is, yeah, let's fill this in. That's fun. Pomodoro. You can Google that, Pomeranian. And but the idea is to, if you have tasks, cut what you're doing into breaks. Look at where my cursor is. You all should see some jewels. And above that, I want you to see the locomotive wheels, the elemental grounding, the way, the path of the universe. I talk about this a lot. That's why I have this cyclical symbol here for infectious language. You're often going to hear me talk about what's the smallest thing. And I mention that because it's important. And I think that you need to just sometimes say right out into the internet, right out into the world, what it is that you want and what you need. And that means I just typed, hey, come hang out, help me get some followers tonight. See, we all need some stuff. That's the basis of a story right there. I'm always talking about story and storytelling, but the basic story is you need some stuff. And now you're a fish out of water. Yeah, man, I'm appending my stuff everywhere. I'm not reposting it, but, sometimes you think of better verbiage. That's why everything is brainstorming, right? And then, of course, Google has to go and crap the bed. Thanks, Google. Part of what I will end up talking about in code tonight, if I get to that portion of the night. I'm one of the next segments that's coming up. I'm going to be talking about the sculpting progress I've done. I think I should have that in the first part of the hour, so that I can share the stream with some people. All right. 0 viewers, going on a half hour. Some groovy tunes tonight. This one comes to us thanks to Purple Planet Music. I'm not going to take the time to change the encoding. If you're a music artist, I would love to share your shit and that you exist, but take the time to encode your shit properly if you want people to use your stuff at all. Alright, I'm going to take a short break, and yeah, when we get back, we'll talk about the sculpting progress I've made. We're back. Alright. You know, part of how this whole process ends up shaping your thoughts is the fact that the headphones, the good quality ones, really clamp your head and reshape your skull, so... This is Into the Night with Incomitatum. Tonight we're talking art, progress, code, and some bullshit. Because everything is some bullshit. Because... what is some bullshit? Well, we say that bullshit around here is the ability to just spew some crap out of your mouth and not really be held accountable for it, you know. Sometimes, all of the teachings of Richard Feynman, you gotta spew some crap out to make sure if that's how you really feel. Is that true? You know? Is Barbara Walters really dead? No. You know, you go and you look it up. You allow yourself to be wrong. It's like, man, I think that the moon is made of cheese. And then you're like, no, it's probably made of, well, top layer's made out of helium, right? Helium-3 baking in because of the sun. Golly, we live in an amazing universe. We're also here to make fools of ourselves, folks, because as it stands, I would rather make a fool of myself than nothing at all, right? I would rather make a fool of myself, right? And everybody plays the fool sometimes. That's another thing that I've heard. The image of Janus, two-faced man, most easily achieved just through contrast. But because that's what, you know, everything is metaphor, friends. Everything is contrast. We only see details because of contrast. That's a very important principle to remember. You gotta do a bit of that over here too, right? Like Mr. Bill. Ugh, that shit scared the shit out of me as a kid. Mr. Bill. And I realized part of what it wasn't that. So I was watching Chobits with the wife. That's a very nerdy thing to say, but you know what? I'm on Twitch. Go ahead and judge me. If I have compatriots anywhere, it's here. So, but yeah, we were watching Chobits because she'd never seen it, and I watched it way back when it first came out. And you know, the nighttime sequences were really kind of creepy, and it dawned on me that, like, that Mr. Bill shit. Look that up on YouTube. HBO produced that on pure black. It's almost like everything is a Velvet Elvis painting or a dream. It lacks context. It's not really in a scene. And I totally get why they did that. It was a hell of a lot cheaper to do it that way. Yeah. Woo! There we go. Here we go, folks. We're gonna make fools of ourselves. No, you know, some real talk is that we tend to judge ourselves more harshly than other people do. Most people don't think that you're stupid. They just don't care about you. That is to say, they are ignorant of your existence at all. So, that's half of why I'm here tonight. You know, if I want to reach out into the ether, into the void, and be heard. How can you be heard if you don't speak, if you don't say some shit, right, man? Let's turn this music up just a little bit. This one is quiet. The meme machine, yeah. So this turned into kind of me naming some things I like. I like pizza. I like Muppets. I like... Oh, this satellite was Big Ideas. Yeah. Let's get this dark color. Bing, bing, bing. Muppets. Pizza. Infectious. Language. Big ideas. I wanted to go with something positive. I almost chose an atom bomb for this, because that's another big idea. Thanks, Oppenheimer. Now we are all sons of bitches. Yeah, that happens sometimes. Pomodoro, what was I saying that I didn't eloquently say before? It's the idea that to break a task into smaller pieces and take 30-minute breaks. You got a big something to do? Fine. Be good to yourself, though, man. Allow yourself to take breaks. Sometimes being stuck on a thing is because you're just stuck. And you need to wait. When the ground hardens a little bit more, then you can just walk right on out. Yeah. That's how it is sometimes. So, I'm always talking about the smallest thing anymore, ever since I went off to the woods and found myself like Thoreau this summer. And so if you are going to do Pomodoro on your tasks, you have to realize, how does a thing break down? We were talking about Dan Harmon's story circle. We were talking about the cosmic cycle. Okay. And like I was saying, you can see the locomotion above the new nameplates. Hey, we have someone in here tonight. We have one viewer. And I don't mean to scare you off, little viewer. I've had a couple viewers last night, and it seems like the more you call out the fact that you're excited that someone's watching, the more they disappear. But, you don't have to, but if you're feeling it, go ahead and say hi. I'd love to reminisce, to figure out who we are together. And they're gone. Hey, that happens sometimes. How can I be so cool about being on Twitch and not having any viewers? Because that's not what it's about, man. It's about my own existential need to flail about in the darkness and say that tonight I existed and that I'm grateful that Twitch received me as a piece of technology. I'm still having trouble figuring out how to spool my last night's episode to YouTube, and I've linked up the accounts and everything, but we'll see. It hasn't shown up, despite me going to bed and getting up again. So if we are going to talk about the story circle, I've been thinking about doing a talk about this story circle and how I can simplify this verbiage, because it is a couple of really big ideas that I'm super excited about. I also want to solidify the branding. Use a bit of a color palette. Sneak purple into everything I do for consistency. And as I watch and learn and read more about this damn story circle thing, I try and simplify it. And it's like, hey, let me just use some white dots. But hey, I guess I could zoom in. We're in a place right now, and this is what's normal. And I need something. The conflict in this quadrant is that we need something. I'm digging the song. That's why I stopped talking, man. The new normal is important because it gives us the ability to empathize with you, with your character. The new normal, it needs the word new because it's new to us. And this could be the 5th episode, and this is still the first time I'm watching, so you always reset the wheel of pain, the wheel of time, the cycle. Here we are. This is what's normal today. Let me show you that in a vignette. Let me get one scene to show you what's normal. Let me get one scene. Let me get red, since we've used so much black. And let me get one scene to show you how crazy and on fire everything is. I said that I realized that as you crunch this down, as it becomes a fractal, the 4 has to become 2. The 2 could become 1. You could do this all in one scene, but then you're just a crazy person that needs some really good meds. Because it's like, hey, I'm freaking out, whoa, And, you should do this in every scene, actually. It's like, whoa, conflict, point of conflict. And this is when, if this were a role-playing game of mine, I'd be like, all right, man, you got to roll the dice. And these are the kind of dice I roll all the time. My dice are 3-sided dice. My dice fluctuate. I guess I should chop that off. One, 0, and -1. They oscillate between positive and negative. Yes. This is important stuff in your art. This is contrast, right? It's all connected, man. Part of becoming a wizard is in realizing that you're psychologically able to hack those around you with how you tell a story and how you command words. But some of those actions have to become rote. Why do you think that I've put bullshit in all of my titles? Pretty much all my titles, at least in the descriptions. Everything is bullshit. It's all made up. I mean, that's the reductivist thinking that can be... It can almost be nihilistic, right? It's all made up and it doesn't matter. No, I'm saying I can see that it's a simulation and it very much matters. We're still getting scored. There's still going to be a reckoning. There's still going to be shit that we have to answer for. I just appreciate that somebody took the time to come in here and, get the wallpaper just the right color. Look at that sunset. Design. You ever stop picking your nose in the middle of lunch and look around and go, holy crap, this isn't just a fucking Carl's Jr. Someone designed it. The lighting is the way it is because choices were made. The tile is the color that it is because choices were made. Everything around you is manufactured. And that's not some conspiracy theory shit. I'm not saying that there's anything necessarily right or wrong about that. If anything, I'm saying that as a guy who likes and appreciates design and art, breaking it down, part of what makes a witch is that you have a will and you want to... A witch or a warlock. Why am I talking about this? We're on the other side of Halloween, and in the studio we're watching Sabrina before I come in here. So I've been thinking a lot about will, about your inner eye, which is your imagination, about how storytelling is group hallucination and how in love with it I am. And if I am going to talk about shit like this is the time to do it, right? I mean, it's NaNoWriMo. I'm looking at November. Are we still technically within the first week? Yeah, I don't count these disjointed weeks. Screw those kind of things. And then this was a weekend. So yeah, here's my first week in November. I'm in the planning stages. And I do this, here's the cycle of the months, dude. Let me show you again how it's all connected. Here's some expert level crap, right? Blend between these two majestic greens. This is a fun song. I've only got to listen to previews of most of these songs, but see, look, this is also the seasons. I've always thought of time as a wheel where January was up here. One. So then what? Is this how the months would go? I think so. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, which is kind of always where I've pictured my birthday. It's always down and to the left. August, September, October, November, December. The cycles. It's all a cycle, man. Everything's oscillation. Everything is vibration and motion. Go left. That's my general rule. If I'm dungeoneering, if I'm playing an MMO, if you're on my team, if I'm breaching into a house, playing Arma, everything I do, normally, except for driving efficiently to get a pizza where it needs to go. Remember, pizza is one of our top level ingredients. I used to do a lot of pizza delivery. That is to say, everything I do, I try and go left. Especially if I'm let's just say on foot. If I'm faced with a crossroads, I tend to go left. I did at the polls today, which I normally don't do. We didn't have great choices, so I had to do what I did. Because that's the reality we live in. Sorry I'm munching a little bit, but also not too sorry because no one's in the stream presently. Maybe I'll mute myself and take a little bit of a break. Once in a while, dudes, you gotta praise your own food, right? I love to cook. In the studio, I made some. Yeah, my my Instagram sometimes has art, but it sometimes has food. So anyway, I made a big batch of chicken sausage and rice noodles, and that's what I've been eating in the studio practically all week. Tonight, and the night before, and it's just so good. Oh, but let me tell you the secret stuff. So I mostly have a keto diet. I try to eat pretty lean. Well, I still cheat. The sauce is the devil, and I found that you can buy this delicious teriyaki mandarin sauce that Panda Express makes and sells in a bottle. And it's currently my guilty pleasure, so. I don't know, man. I'm not ready to join another multi-level marketing thing. They say that no man can serve two masters, and already, you know how it is. I already serve Uncle Sam. I can't have another boss. That's why I'm out here. Trying to serve you all with some art, some storytelling, some bullshit. I'm noshing right now and kind of grooving to the music. We're 5 minutes before the hour. And I'm just waiting to see if anybody comes in tonight. But then I'm going to talk about what I've been doing and the progress that I've made with the sculpting. We'll give it another 5 minutes of music, and then I'll come right back. This is Into the Night with Incomitatum, episode 9. Art progress, some code, tonight is some other bullshit. Thank you for being here. I'll be right back. Baby 59, let me say. The last fucker that came into this club who started singing with his synthwave, he got thrown out. But you're alright. Don't hate this. It grates just a little, but I had to come back from the break to say that. Yeah, tonight we've got a little bit more upbeat soundtrack. That's to keep my brain skipping along. Especially if I'm going to be coding. If I code, that's it's almost like electrician's work. You just need lots of stimulants. I don't know if I'm going to be doing any coding tonight, but I should at least test my development environment here on Twitch to see how it does or doesn't shit the bed. I'm running so much other stuff, so we'll see. I'm not officially back. I'm going to take a quick bio break, and then I'll return and see you soon. This one goes out to the dad Welshman. He says he's tired, but he stopped in just long enough to add me to his rotation and to give me a follow, so thanks. We're coming up on the top of the hour. This is Into the Night with Incomitatum. We're talking art progress, code, and bullshit. When I get back from this next little break, I'm going to be showing off the sculpting that I did tonight. It's currently in the in the workshop portion of the bunker. It's getting it's drying out. It's getting rock hard so I can sand it. I'll be right back with pictures. Yeah, this sounds pretty great. The jet-fueled Vixen. Everything is inspiration, folks. Want her to be holding her helmet, because she's a badass. This is a lady who doesn't mess around. She'll get the job done, but you're gonna pay extra because kablamo, she's a jet-fueled Vixen. Gotta cut some. One of the things that I've been counseling friends on, as if I had any right to do so, but I saw a friend who has just started recently going and using her tablet she's had for a while. And I explained to her that when you do art, you got to decide what your bottom bar is going to be. Not everything has to be a friggin' masterpiece. Some things can be and should be for fun. So, what am I just doing? What am I doing? I'm limiting myself to 3 colors. There's always a cheat, because you're like, what's the background color? Does that count or not? No, this time it doesn't. So I sculpted this out. In fact, we might show a little tink. Let's come in here and sculpt some shit. I want to show her. Hips are lusciously cantilevered one way or the other, you know, just to imply some because she's the jet-fueled Vixen. What the hell am I talking about? Well, that's one of the songs that came on a minute ago, so just riffing off the title. This is supposed to be like a like she's clutching her motorcycle helmet, because obviously she rides a badass motorcycle. Let's go one more level deeper with the foreground darkness right about here, and we'll draw in a shitty motorcycle. And we're already breaking our rule, right? We're already breaking our no more than a couple colors rule, but you know, I think it's for a good cause. After all, it is motorcycle. I'll paint those in here in a minute. I need the ground to be right about here. There we go. Just sculpting with light, friends. Just sculpting with light. And why did I take to digital over traditional? Well, because of cheat codes, really. Because if I get too stressed out, I can always undo it. As I'm painting my other things, some of my little monsters and whatnot, I'm realizing that some of the brush strokes are just serendipity. And that's you have to let them be that. Otherwise, you'll never finish what you're doing. You'll be too damn neurotic. Where'd that color come from? Sometimes you color pick on the edge of a thing, and you're like, hey, cool. So yeah, maybe these are like some implied forms or some crap. But then this is where the darkness begins. The darkness was in her eyes the whole time. We could never stop to see how it had turned to be that the darkness rolled over and said, I'm hungry. Is Denny's even still open? This might have crapped out. No, I just have the diameter turned up way too high. Boom, 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 boom. And then I'm going to redraw her some more. Like I'm not in love with this weird halo right here. I'm going to cut it back. See, this is cooler because now this can be some, like she's a little hunched. We're just playing with light and color, friends. Just like all of this is. In fact, if that's the case, then her skirt is down too far, right? And that's all right. I mean, we can fix all this. Nothing's permanent, and that's half the fun. The impermanence is you embracing that any of this ever happened. Did it? Were we even there at all in that room that one time that Benny ate all that cake and had to go home early? I'm pretty sure I was there, but are you? And what about you? See, here's the other thing. I'm already seeing that I need to follow a little bit of a rule. I'll let these come in from over here, but only one side, because eventually they gotta get too thick, right? And these kind of became like her knees. So there's like a cool color. That's a rim light here, right? So her hand is down inside her jacket, right? She's got a piece. Yeah. Something about airport vixen. I don't remember what was said, but and this is an explosion of some kind. We're gonna make it look more badass soon. Explosions are cool, right, man? You gotta make the sounds when you draw. How the hell else are you supposed to put yourself in the scene, right? But a little bit of rim lighting is always cool, especially to come in and knock out these forms. It's like Bob Ross draws some weird shit. That's to put me in a very elite category, friends. I don't even know that I could or should compare myself to such a great man. Yeah, and here's our cool bike, so we just gotta get some rim lighting, right, man? So we'll pick the next color up. We'll say that the spokes, because they're tiny, right? We almost have some cool opposition going on, right? Not entirely on purpose, but look at what happened. And there again is the contrast. All of this seems a lot cooler because of how bright and vibrant this is. So. And then the really bright stuff will get just a little bit of a swing. That's really catching the light, right, man? Just a little bit right in there. It can be fun to limit yourself. See, that we limited ourselves just to a few colors. I did cheat just a little bit, but yeah, and if we wanted to, I could come in here and clean this up. Make this look a little more like lips and less of a mustache. Maybe even get the side of her face, right? She doesn't have an ear, but does she need one? She looks a little hunched, which is kind of cool because I didn't intend that. Let me try just the bottom lip. In fact, normally it's the This is a cool song, Kevin MacLeod. Thanks for the great music, man. Alright, I'm kind of done noodling on this. I'm not feeling it anymore, but this one goes out to my good buddy Juan Ochoa. He does this thing. He makes some blorps. Here's a bit of a blorp for me tonight. I'm gonna save this real quick. Free transform. I gotta get my own term for blorps, man. I'm gonna take just a quick second. A little quick break. Chug some water. Let you look at this blorp over here. Thank you for being here, friends. Here we are. This is Into the Night with Incomitatum, episode 9. I'm starting to finally work out my mantra. I'm going to need a disclaimer. Didn't they used to run a weird disclaimer before the Dr. Drew show? To let you know that it was really, really late at night. Like, hey, the following thing is coming on, and if you're not an adult, you should be in bed by now. Disclaimer. And then maybe I should just have a rundown of some mantra. You know, what do we believe? Maybe I should write this shit down on my planning board. And then I'll get inspired to draw some more crap. Yeah. Alright. And then after this, I'm going to show off the some of the sculpting progress. I even changed the segment title thingy down there to say so. And when in doubt, hit the marker button. This will help you find segments later. So what are we doing? I'm grabbing a purple, something dark, something good and dark. Good dark purple, you know, like you get it. Is this that this is a totally different. See, the Free Music Lounge, is that what that place is called? The Free Music Repository. Their controls are not granular enough. I need to figure out, search for in a category that says shit without words. Because I don't want any of that, man. I'm not digging words. It changes everything. Words are powerful. To let somebody sing some lyrics into your head while you're trying to get work done, that you better know that stuff already jives well with you. Show rundown. We got setup phase. Planning. I think that, yeah, you set up the show, and then we need a part where we have a bit of an intro. I need to work on an actual nice intro, video, and otherwise. Because the intro sets the mood. And we'll break off a mood more in a minute. The intro is then followed by a disclaimer about bullshitting. The following program is 100% bullshit. It's mostly made up, like everything else. We make absolutely no promises and positively no guarantees, no claims. Yeah. We allow ourselves to be wrong and be presented with new information. I think that mortality is a topic that I need to keep bringing up, though, because that's part of who I am, too, right? The fact that I'm going to die. That's the spooky part, right? That's the, hey, man, that's the, oh, wow, we got out of this. Turns out he's a goth kid. Boom. A skull of some kind. Bink, bink. I don't know, man. Pomodoro is important. We try and take breaks around every 30 minutes. We're coming up on another break. 30-minute mind sprints, man. Don't get me started about vision boarding and the Imago. What phase is your Kryptos in currently, friend? No. We're in the 5th phase of Xenos. Presently. I don't know, man. Everything's bullshit. Everything's made up. Alright. I'm at least going to open the thing that talks about stuff. My Google Photos, because that's become the easiest way for me to show you how I mean to do some shit. No, I'm actually going to leave it on Emo Horse, which is who we're trying to make. I automatically see that a lot of sanding is going to be required tomorrow. Alright, folks. An hour and a half into the Night with Incomitatum. I'm going to talk about my art progress when we get back. We'll do code primarily tomorrow. I don't want this to be too long of a show because I got to get back to my sculptures. Alright, folks, we're back. We're on the other side of... We've reached apoapsis, is what I mean to say. The peak. I don't want this show to go on for too long. So, yeah. Last night's show, I called my mom up. I sculpted on this guy in my mind on the paper. And this is what came out. One of the reasons I'm here at 3:02 a.m. is because I was sculpting tonight. Some stuff I did last week. How did all that happen? Well, if you Google this scarecrow, Jim McKenzie. I think you can Google scarecrow sculpture, but you're going to find this. And then my best friend took me and some other compatriots to the Leica exhibit when we were in Portland, and I got super inspired there. And if I may say so, it turns out I've got a little bit of a knack for sculpting. So, I want you to know this other guy. Steady crafting. I cannot wait for his stuff to come out. He's got an Etsy shop. So, how's that meme go? You had my curiosity, but now you have my attention. Jim McKenzie had my curiosity. Then we go to the Leica thing. And then every time I go over to my buddy Hensel's house, it's the Dark Crystal or Isle of Dogs or Kubo and the Two Strings. I'm going, yes, yeah, F yeah, dude, this is great stuff. I'm just soaking it all in, and it's like, I want to do some shit like that. Well, it's like, then dude, do it before you're dead. So here we are. And then Steady Crafton does his show. And I watch the show where he sculpts from scratch the free-range chicken. And so then I go and I buy some epoxy sculpt because I'd heard of it before. And it's on its way tomorrow. I'm getting some Fix-It sculpt, which is actually what the Craftsman uses. Apparently it's a little more rigid. It takes to being carved a little bit better. We're going to see. We're going to do a material showdown. In the name of science. So then where's my shit? So yeah, then the lineage is... I decide that I'm going to start taking more time and making. And let's skip to the end of the Halloween part. But here we are. Here's my mask, which is even more impressive in person. And my wife's mask turned out lovely. I mean, these are really nice in person. I need to take some time and make a little light box out of some PVC. And so the show is in support of that. The show is you seeing how I bullshit my way through life. That is to say, I bumble through and I pick up little creative motifs and I chew on them and I turn them into ideas and I execute on the good ones. But then you see me. I mean, I'm actually making something as a result. You see that I do execute. I don't just talk about it. This was a cool picture. I had stuck up the wobbly python. Not the wobbly python. That would be on the tip of my tongue. The Wobbly Man bottle that we got up in McCall, Idaho. I looked through it like a looking glass. And then it was so cool that when I looked at the kitchen light, this is what it looked like. So I decided I had to stick my phone down in there and try and capture a version of it. Don't go towards the light. So here's where we are today. Let's go from here. This is what we're thinking about. Keep this little diamond in your mind, kids. I talked about the styrofoam ball last night as I was designing that guy and looking at it, and it turned out that I actually had to do some carving out from the ball shape. But here I am. I'm pre-measuring, trying to figure out. I'm trying to eyeball how much do I need to cover the surface of this ball, and then over here, how much do I need to build a head? Now, look at the light gray clump right here. Oh, good, you do see my mouse. This clump here. This is the mushier bit. This is the tacky stuff, this dark stuff. I get the mushy stuff out, and I will play with just it sometimes to build a shape and see, is this enough to do this and enough to do that? And then you come in and I get an equal portion of it. I always plan on having more than I need. Let me add a marker here. Some gal at the Halloween party was saying that she wanted to know all about this, so shout out to Halloween girl. I'm trying to remember Dan's friend's name and I'm embarrassing myself. She was very pleasant to talk to. Haley or Sarah? Maybe it was Sarah. Haley was nice to talk to too. Really, those were the only names I came away with. Wonderful people. By association. I knew they would be because the hosts of the two parties I went to were fabulous individuals as well. I know I've been doing it every night on the stream, but another thanks to Carolyn Greener for her for letting me borrow sharp teeth. I'm loving it. I took it to the polls with me today. Anyway, so time to cover up this little horse, right? So I mushy, mixy, like Steady Crafton would say. I take it, man. I get on down in there and I mix it all together, and then I mush it out as thin as I can, pinching it with my fingers. I do this extra step because if you just try and compress it without that, you'll get a thick puck of it, and that's not what you want. So I push it out as thin as I can with my fingers, pinching it and rolling it kind of like you would dough. And then I make it consistent with the rolling pin or the rolling bottle. Here's a picture of my workbench from which I'm broadcasting currently. I include this ghetto thing in here so that you can see that, the surface of my Wacom long ago degraded, and I have a thick piece of craft cardboard. What is this crap called? Acid-free. It's just a thick-ass piece of craft cardboard. I didn't even have to cut it. And then I have it clamped. And so part of having followers and having people give to the show and having a Patreon and having a little bit of an engine that turns behind the scenes that allows me to generate funds to keep doing all this beautiful stuff that I do. It's having a couple extra dollars tonight on my shopping list of craft shit to keep churning the wheel. I've written smaller clamps because I use these clamps to keep this here because I don't want to use glue or double-sided tape. But I also don't need my clamps to be so damn big. Anyway, enough of my ghetto workbench. Here I've taken and I've covered part of the ball. And I'm mushing it around. Oh yeah, and I'm just starting to use more newspaper. I found with newspaper I can take the newspaper and wet it and shape it a little bit better. And then the shape becomes a little more organic, like with the head that I'll show you here tonight. Here I've taken the ball, and my sister was wandering around the bunker, and she's like, "Is that a butthole?" And I'm like, "No, these are like impromptu registration marks for me to show where I want to attach the head, a couple shoulders, some back legs." Here I'm showing that I've kind of made a crescent of newspaper on the end of my thumb and then covered that with what is like a mask of clay. You can see that here. This is me doing the horse head. And that's because I didn't need it to connect up underneath. I promise you viewers, these are not pubes. I am a bearded man. Think if Hagrid were to engage in crafts, he would get more than a few hairs in his crafts. It adds to the charm. If anything, should I give these as gifts, it gives you power over me because you have my hair in the craft shit. More hairs, not pubes. Though pubes are hairs. At some point I was mushing and smushing on this form. Look at it down here. And there's only so much you can press on it. And it's like an inverse squared. Like the more that you push on this, on styrofoam, the less it compresses. At some point it can't compress anymore. It's just going to break. And to get quite the shape that I needed, I had to actually say, nope. Draping this over and building it up over a ball isn't enough. I have to get some stuff out of here. Let me fix this if I can. That's how that goes. Here I'm starting to consider the shape. You can't really see the contour, but what is the body going to be like in relation to the shape of the head? Here it is sitting on top. Real crude looking. This doesn't look good. I promise you it gets better. It's all iterative. My secretary, my sister, I asked her to get me a rag so that I could keep wiping my hands, because when you work with this stuff, while it's a weird kind of polymer, it is a clay, and so there are times that you want your hands to, the word they use is slip. So you want your hands to be all slippy. It also is nice to have this basin, just a water, like a medieval water basin, to constantly just dunk and rinse your hands in and get your hands wet and clean. And so now you can see here I've removed some clay. Oh, I've removed some styrofoam and I've packed it back in with clay, and I'm giving this a kind of an organic shape. There were a few times I was working on the body that it felt like a skull, especially the way that I started to carve in this front leg shape, this back leg shape. I realized that I want him to have just a little bit of a butt. I like my creatures to, I like it implied that my creatures could poop if they needed to. Yes, you heard that. So I'm giving him a little bit of a tail, and this is a shock to go from one to the next. These two things are not related, let me warn you. Here, I decided, well, I have too much extra clay. What am I going to do? My idea for the manager, let me duplicate this. I remember showing you the manager. Way down here. Because even though that's not the order that I made it, PNGs and file extensions and something, Google keeps putting it down here with these other things. But this guy, this isn't bad looking, but I imagined, what if this face were scaled down some and then moved up on the sphere of a ball? And so squish it down, move it up, kind of making this shape. This is a ball of newspaper that I wet, and then I built some patches. I built a nose patch, I built a forehead patch, I built 2 cheek patches, I built a chin strap patch, and then with slipped fingers I welded them together. You'll see this come together over time too. Working on the horse head more, working on this guy. Now you can see he's got lips. Here's where his nose will go. Oh, and then after this, as much fun as all this was, my camera died, my phone died, all those other pictures, and so I had to plug it in and then just get back to work. These guys are my lowest hanging fruit. When I have extra clay, these are my drink top lids. When I have extra clay, I'll push it into these and just practice faces. These are my sprints, little practice drills. It's like, oh, let's do an eye with some, and practice getting some creases in there. And these are just my little fuglies. In fact, after the show, I got to go in and do some carving to embellish these lines a little more. Here's how this guy's turning out. Again, I'm going to need to carve in some of these details here after a bit. He's got a nose. He's going to have a mustache. So this dude having a mustache does 2 things. Again, these are my little derpy faces. I'll probably paint them up and sell them for a couple bucks a piece. $5. But more importantly, it lets me play with shapes. It lets me get good at these eye folds on a small scale. It gives me permission to mess up, but also still say that I created something. And so this mustache is in technical, it's preparation and practice for knowing that I got to do a mustache on this guy. And I want it to be even better. This one kind of looks like a croissant in a couple places, which I'm not against that. But I need to be able to put it here, right? You can see his teeth. Very much, see? Teeth back here. Imagine this. a little fatter and on top of that. And then I'm going to take the newspaper out of the back of his head, sand this down, and put it over a sock puppet. Put it on top of a sock puppet. I'm going to have to give him a hat, too. Tinier. Much smaller. Sanding and carving. Seems like we have a viewer. Yeah, and then this is how the horse head is turning out. See how I knew that the lips are here? It looks elementary because it is. I mean, tomorrow I'm going to sand this back. Add the eye. I'm going to sand this back. I'm going to carve in some pieces. I'll do some whittling up underneath here. I already see that I need to, back here, I was looking at an anatomy book for horses. I need to carve and make it go in a little bit more because the way I drew it, see how it's a big ball and a small ball and then they're connected. So yeah, I have to exaggerate this up underneath here more, which is okay. That's going to be easy to do because if you saw the other picture, I don't have it. This is just almost a big thumbnail of newspaper that this is sitting on. The bottom's not even sealed, so. Let me call out to my one viewer. I'm happy you're here. Into the night with Incomitatum. We're talking art progress, code, and as always, bullshit. You'll see that the production value of the show tries to get better with every episode. If I haven't scared you off by saying hi, take some time and chat to me in the stream. I love questions and interaction. I hate developing in a vacuum. Oh, and then my sister snapped some pictures of me down here in the bunker. Working. Working. So that's where we're at. You saw my tentative progress before. I'm kind of a night off. Everything was thrown off just a little bit, but I did get... So like tonight, I would have said that on Monday I wanted the body and the head done. That means tomorrow when I wake up, I'm going to do sanding and then do the head and neck. I also have to cook for the studio crew tomorrow. And then the Fix-It. The Fix-It Sculpt is arriving tomorrow, and that's very much like what I've been using, but it is a different medium. This leaves me Thursday to do painting and sanding and carving and priming, and then Friday is our role-playing session. Everyone comes together in the studio and we have a big crew. Sometimes we make it a dinner. Maybe we'll get some pizzas, because remember, in the meantime, I was talking about what am I all about? Well, I love Muppets, pizza, big ideas, and infectious language, so. The meme time. So where does that leave us? Tonight we were supposed to talk about some code. We kind of did. Let me link these together. Horse. That planning session was Sunday or Monday? I think it was Monday. Yeah. 11:05. Sadly, our one viewer was scared off. It happens. All right, so here's where I was talking about code. Oh, and I said that I was at least going to take a moment and try my development stack again on air to see if it shits the bed or not. Yeah, I'm sticking with that euphemism. I like it. Part of my disclaimer, I'm the guy that says the F word and the S word. If you don't like that, if you can't handle that. And so we were talking about creating a sense of the show. Yeah, disclaimer. F word. S word. A ford and a sword. Words are funny. Well, the music got real quiet. I'm going to restart the track. Here we go. This could be fun and cerebral. Every now and then, you want to go to the place where you can get the finest steak, and no one else will say a word. Nearly rare, topped with butter, an inch thick. A wolf has to eat, you know. Carnivores are real. Don't you ever just crave meat? Three fingers of bourbon and a steak. Before driving your boss, who is a vampire, to the airport so he can meet his Latin lover and figure out what's going on around here. That's right. I think the Pomodoro needs to take a much bigger... Pomodoro needs to be a character. Maybe I need to figure out if I can take and find my own Pomodoro and then sculpt on the top of it. Make my own little evil egg timer. It's part of what I'm wanting to do with the Fix-It sculpt. I want an orange color, specifically from here. Let's get a blend between these two. I keep moving my wheel. I don't like to move my wheel. All right. Storytelling lecture. Again, we'd have that F and S word disclaimer. I'm not always children friendly. PG-13. Yeah. '50 was a nice compromise between the two different musical. I'm actually finding that Kevin MacLeod, having such prolific music, has at least tried to make sure that all his stuff is level with itself. You're listening to End of the Night with Incomitatum. This is episode 9, Art Progress Code Bullshit. I promise you're going to get a semblance of some of all of that. In the last segment, I showed you the sculpting progress I made. This one's actually a gift from my mom. Yeah. I'm going to take a short break, and when we get back at the top of the hour, then I'll plan out the storytelling lecture a little better and talk to you about Storyforge cards. I happen to have mine right here. When we return with End of the Night with Incomitatum. So here's the fun. I've just gotten back, and looked at my feed. I've been busy enough that as it stands, I haven't had much time for social media. And then, today was election day. I'm allowed to say that much without turning things so political and sour. But you know what? To hell with that, right? Because more importantly, it's my show. I can say whatever I want, especially if I have no viewers. But no, I'm going to try and remain politically ambiguous. I have been looking, though. A lot of my friends are linking to content in their different states about 538 and trying to see if they have other like local forecasts and other stuff. Doobie-doobie-doo. This is some pretty groovy tunes, right? Alright, let's officially come on back. And, let me... Here's something I want to talk to all of you about. StoryForge cards. I have some right next to me. Oh yeah, let me click add a marker. I want to talk to you about StoryForge cards because we're in NaNoWriMo territory. This is November. This is when a lot of my nerd friends they're talking about wanting to write anything at all. Let's go down. Set a real low bar. They want to write. And I need to. I try to, in the same week that I've got friends coming over for roleplay on Friday, I try and look at my game system and I try and mine where I want to take the development of the game that is Endworld, which we're going to have a special stream this week about that. Probably Thursday night. I think about the fiction. And again, I'm always thinking about this story wheel, right? And tonight we even said, duh, that plots out to the seasons. So... So I'm seeing that, there's a topic here of working on storytelling as my friends struggle to write anything at all. Now, they say that those who cannot do, teach. I can do. I just been, Richard Feynman was also, hey, you should try and say some shit out loud and see what sticks, what you think you know. And are you bullshitting yourself? So let me show you what this is. You can't really see any one of these too closely. Oh, here we go. These are like tarot cards. And I wish that I could get a hold of this dude. The dude who made these. But I haven't been able to. I have told so many people about this stuff. I think I am responsible for selling at least 4, upwards of 10 of these sets for him. Just by word of mouth. So, can I get a little bit of a commission or something? No, I'm kidding. What I love about these are the idea of tarot cards without the bullshit symbolism. Let me tell you why I would call the symbolism bullshit. It's that same literal paywall that the Catholic Church had with their constituents. I know the knowledge, but you don't know the knowledge. So I'm going to bullshit some stuff. Real tarot, like the Rider-Waite tarot deck, if you look at a card, they seem a little gonzo because they're trying to cram in several metaphors all at once. And an astute diviner is supposed to be able to look at those cards and Terminator style, put boxes around all the icons and go, oh yeah, I remember what this card is about. Literal memes, right? This icon means this thing means this. Overarching idea. And what is tarot? I don't... Let me step away from the divination aspect. I use the word divination quite a bit just to say I need a random element in my life. Sometimes I flip a coin, especially when paced with impossible odds. The divination here, I'm not saying that you're really telling the future. You're just using two ideas. One in programming of procedural generation, I need a random element, but also an icebreaker. So what I love about these in doing a spread is what they call this in tarot. The easiest spread to remember is the 3, the past, present, and future. This is the love story, as they show it to you here. But look at this. Here's a card. And like tarot, the way that this faces, top side or bottom side, anti-wise, whatever, they are on polar opposites of each other. But because they are all words, first of all, this is a good reading tool for young ones. But it demystifies what the card is about. It breaks it down to its overarching theme. Remember, this isn't the 9 of Pentacles or whatever weird stuff that is, and I'm not poo-pooing on those people that are into tarot. I'm just saying, look at how accessible this is. And, maybe for reasons you're turned off by the idea of tarot because it's got that mysticism. I might even could get a few Christian writer friends to look at this, and if they're a little ignorant, they might not make the connection, because I'm not a shill for this as a real divination tool. Unless, well, real, but, figuring out your bullshit. I did a spread like this the other night with the wife, and, we weren't sitting down thinking, we're doing tarot, we're doing magic. It was a good conversation starter. So I have some Storyforge cards right here in front of me. And I'm going to grab 2. Not 3. I'm not going to do past, present, future. I'm going to do 2 ideas and the intersection of them. And then I'm going to do a little bit of a drawing, and then we're going to call the show done. I'll work on my storytelling lecture outline and my code lecture outline. And I think off the air I'll test whether my code environment works, because I need to do some coding this week. I need to at least get the boilerplate and the CSS down. Alright, here we go. Do we have any room for some magical shit? Yeah. Here's the storytelling segment. Here's some creepy voodoo, right? Oh, we got rid of the desiderata. Let's add the desiderata back, right? Scrolling copy. Scrolling reference. Right? As these particles bounce around through the universe, we reach out through it to try and find its vibration. It's all pageantry, it's all carny BS, right? That's half the fun, though, the mysticism. That's all art is. That's all storytelling is a group hallucination. So you embrace that. And this music's good. And not that you can read. Maybe I need a... Yeah. Hold on. I gotta grab this from over here. Now playing. Copy. Now playing. Paste reference. Still can't friggin' read it, but that's alright. Alright. Been streaming for 2 hours. It's important when you get in the routine that you focus on the cards. We're going to just draw a simple thing tonight. And we're going to draw our first card. Split the deck. Flip it around. Shuffle it. Draw the next one. This bullshit card right here calls out to me. If you can hear the cards. There we go. Where'd the box go? Don't misplace your stuff, kids. Alright. Let's go back. Yeah, so get some Storyforge cards. They're not all that expensive. They're going to give you a ton of ideas. They're friggin' amazing. Do it. Do what I say. You gotta get yourself some Storyforge cards. Alright, so I'm prepared to write here our overarching concept. We're going to go with a fun pink magical color. And the wizard's going to do his bullshit tonight, alright? Our first card, we flip it over like it's a damn door. The bureaucrat. As someone who accepts or even embraces bureaucracy, this person could be a powerful foe or ally in the political or financial arenas. And the other idea is cruelty. Someone is deliberately causing physical or mental suffering. This can represent an act of cruelty, the effect of such abuse, or a person with a sadistic nature. Well, the cruel bureaucrat. Is that where we find ourselves? See if there was any divinity into this, and I promise I didn't cheat. You gotta wonder sometimes when the universe gives you some coincidence like that, right? Especially on the back end of voting night. The bureaucrat. The devil in which you deal with, right? I've also been watching some Sabrina. I had a friend of mine reach out in his circles. He's like, "Oh my, this Sabrina stuff is dark." I'm like, "Yeah, it's not great, right? Put on the full armor, friends. That's some stuff." I mean, it is great. It's good storytelling. If it had been too much like the other, now that I'm anti-sitcom, I would not have been able to do it. But yeah. Here's a bit of a shape. You can see. And again, going with an orange highlight. Just build up the form and cut it back, right? In fact, if this is like this, then hey guys, did anybody get the mail today? No, not for you. You don't have to be rude about it. The bureaucrat, right? Well, this specifically said the cruel bureaucrat. All right, let's move a little faster. Gonna have to sketch out an idea. He's cruel because he turns the grinder. It's an old metaphor, right? But it's an older meme, but it checks out. Something about a conveyor belt and human misery. Let's do one more. I don't like this. Let's just draw 2 more cards. No pageantry involved. We got 2 cards here. The next time I bust these out, I'm going to use them. You know, I've never really used them for art. I normally use them for storytelling. There's a blank card because I'm an idiot. And 2 blank cards. Wonderful. It's whatever you want, folks. Yeah, I really did that. Alright, greed and the leader. These aren't great. A greedy leader, man. Alright. I can't get away from these metaphors. I promise I didn't plan any of this. Yeah, but it's election night and you're trying to read the cards? It's all going to come out bad. Alright. I'm going to go where this song takes me then, right? Gonna draw with this. I'm gonna keep this shit on a loop while I draw where this song takes me. Alright. Again, a little vignette. You just fill the whole canvas, right? That's easier. Debate. How well is that showing up? I know these are real dark colors. Okay, luckily you can see it, right? So let's start over. Gotta make sure I have both these colors though, because they're good. Alright. Start more down here in the center. So what I'm seeing, I want this dude to have like an alien-like vampire head. That is to say, rather thin, right? And then I like the forehead crest and the... I guess I could do you all a favor by... one more time. Let's sketch it first. Turn the opacity down to 50%. Get all sketchy. It's alright. It's okay to be sketchy. I think what I was doing tonight was trying to work a little too free-form. And it was frustrating me. So, it happens. Blah, blah, blah. This guy's got to have a really angular face. Like an anime dude, right? Like he's an Alucard or someone. I forgot that purple is the background, so here's my rim light. Yeah, I told it to repeat, right? Here we go. Do what I say. I'm feeling pretty good about this. So then here's his nose. We'll just block it in. planes of the face, right? It's kind of how it goes, ish. Practicing heads has gotten me much better at proportions. I mean, as you do. Hey, who knew when you practice a thing, you get better at it most of the time. Most of the time. I mean, hell, your mileage may vary, but... What's he doing now? Well, he's drawing some creepies, because he can, right? And then this dude... I like big collars. I mean, I cannot lie. Gotta have a bit of a neck. Let's zoom out some. So here's his head, then there's his breastbone, right? And then another half of a head, maybe another whole head at times, down to here. So then if this is the width of his head, then his shoulders can come out to here. So, right, just all fast and loose. And then we want him to stay pointy because I like that. Like Nosferatu-ish feeling. I'm gonna give him hair because we're not animals. I mean, come on. In fact, he's a hunk of burning love. Give my heart to the pointy boy. It's a pointy head. Take the pointy ears. Here we are, end of the night with Incomitatum, coming up on 2.5 hours. That's alright. Coming up on 2.5 hours. I don't know, I'm really liking this vampire dude. Might take this a little farther. I like this color palette. This is one of those things that I'm trying to get better at for real. It's just the separation of planes for lighting. Different lighting schemes. Different lighting angles. If I draw this dude a little bit more, I want this shape, and we like pointy shoulder pads, right? I mean, that was a thing I heard that we liked around here. I know I do. I know I do. So it's implied that he's got a bit of a I guess he could be putting on the Ritz. How we doing tonight, folks? Still out there doing the thing. I'm gonna turn the song off and not repeat. See where it takes things. So the bigger planed objects are this color. How do we turn that down? This is Into the Night with Incomitatum. We're talking art, some of the art progress I've made, some code, other bullshit. I'm just feeling this dude out, right? So what do I got coming up? Well, I got role-playing on Friday. That's going to be fun. I'd like to maybe do some post-mortems about that stuff. Come on here and tell you about what's going on sometime. Who knows? Coming up on 2.5 hours. We don't have any viewers, but you know, that's a-okay too. I mean, that's part of our mythos here, is part of our operating procedure. It's okay if we don't have any viewers. That's not how we're measuring our self-worth today, friends. Then the nice thing about this is if you want to cut in any extra detail, you can just do it here. See? Snicked, snicked. Yeah, we're gonna heavily imply that up underneath his robe he is shirtless. He's ready to go for a swim, yeah. It's time to go swimming. Why are you such a pain in the ass? Peter Murphy is the Night Wobbles. I don't know. I've been infected with pompadours ever since I was on the Wobbly Python drawing circus. Thanks, guys. Pompadours. Permission to draw some shit. Permission granted. Here's some shit. It has been drawn. We can say that we were here, man. I like the idea of there maybe being a zipper here that's catching all this light. Go down into here. Kind of looks like an eye patch, but it's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be his eyebrow. Well, what do you say? There he is, folks. Not everything you draw is going to be a piece of amazing shit, but there's my limited color palette, kind of Peter Murphy-esque vampire dude. Why would I take the time out of my hourglass to do that? Well, practice, mostly. Let's lighten this whole thing up a little, just so you can see it. Is this a tad bit better? Let's merge that. Yeah, I'm still here, folks. I haven't said anything in a while. On purpose. I'm kind of running out of steam and trying to mentally shift focus onto some good tracks. The music has also been good because it's just been upbeat. It's like, hey, let's focus and get some stuff done. So. Well, that's our show tonight. 2.5 hours of being here into the night. I'm going to go check on my sculptures. Let's get a quick rundown on what we did. I made this dude. We talked about my schedule for the week. Tomorrow, okay, so we voted. I at least laid out, this was supposed to be the lectures and learning portion. So yeah, I at least started to lay out the lecture for storytelling. I started to lay out the lecture for code. I need to do some code. Here's the horse. Slowly working on him. Laid out an outline for code. We had a fun little segment in the middle calling In the Meme Time, where I break myself down into the things I like: Muppets, pizza, big ideas, infectious language. I talked about the story wheel, and this is a neat little graphic, so I mean, what does anything mean, right? These are fun little things to just clip for later. Like Wobbly was saying, you know, when you do this, there's just a lot of stuff that gets saved. So, then the song, what is the song called? Jet Fuel Vixen? Something like that. Came on, and I'm like, boom, explosion. Well, then I started talking about contrast, which got us talking about the story wheel. I showed off my sculptures. I talked about working on some stuff for the show. I'm trying to work out this storytelling lecture where I take this idea and I make the language even more simple, where I don't even bring up Save the Cat, because that's confusing for a lot of people. So, yeah, that's our rundown. I can't thank you enough for taking the time out of your hourglass to have been here with me tonight. You know, you might be watching this syndicated somewhere or after the fact, out over on YouTube or whatever. So I'm here in the studio almost every night trying to make. You can hit me up on Andrew Chasen Design over on Facebook. I also have an Instagram. I am Incomitatum. And, you know, if you would be my follower on Twitch, that'd be nice. Like and subscribe on YouTube. I could use some friends out there helping steer me in the right direction as I talk through some stuff. Into the night with Incomitatum. Number 9. Art progress, code, and other bullshit. Thanks for coming by. Be good to each other.